Want to be my patron? Follow the link in the description.
Welcome to Elm Street.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hannah Horror here. Today we're talking about probably one of the best examples of a great sequel ever in horror movie history. That's right, we're talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. I'm off of Part 2, and things get a little weird. You know, there's not really a franchise yet. We've got one movie that has this element of nightmares and being hurt in your sleep, and then you've got this other movie with this element of avatarism and possession. So things are rocky, to say the least. Looking back on it, it's pretty obvious which movie is the black sheep, but at this point in time, things are very unclear as to what's going on with this quote-unquote franchise. So they try to get things back on track, and we start with this movie called The Dream Warriors. The original pen was by Wes Craven himself. This guy named Chuck Russell comes in. He basically makes this movie happen. Chuck knew the right element to take this movie in. Chuck knew the right theme to take this movie in. And Chuck knew to bring it back to its roots, more or less. This is one movie where you've got a perfect example of taking characters that are from previous movies that you love and care about, balancing them with new characters like Patricia Arquette's character that you equally care about. This is a very hard thing to do, and not many movies even attempt this, much less gain success at it. Dream Warriors saw the more funny side of Freddy, but it was the perfect blend. You don't get too much funny, but there's a little hint of personality in there, and it was the perfect recipe for what we call the comedy horror movie. But you were still scared. Things were still scary about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. There were great scenes. One of the greatest kills in the franchise is definitely the Welcome to Primetime kill, where the girl gets her head through the TV. Absolutely classic. We've got really cool elements of friendship in this movie. You've got great characters, and there's this bond between all these kids that you just can't help but feel like you're part of the team when watching this. Nancy's character is brought back into the fold. Nancy's character is here to help the younger kids from the original Elm Street, the parents who more or less were the ones involved in killing Freddy. Nancy's character is brought here in a very good light. She doesn't come in and take the spotlight. She doesn't come in a role that feels like she is having to make up for lack of characters. It's just the perfect blend. This is one of those horror movies, again, where there's not much I would change. Things just seem to work, and they seem to work good. There's not a whole lot that needs to be adjusted with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. A few things I want to add to this review is the score of this was helmed by a gentleman named Angelo Badalamenti, who did Twin Peaks. He did Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me. That alone should be good enough for anybody because the music in that show was fabulous. But Angelo did many movies. Very talented guy. Definitely took the theme and brought it to a more creepy atmosphere. Go back and listen to the score on Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Another thing that we got from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 was one of the greatest heavy metal anthems in horror movie history. We're talking about Dokken's Dream Warriors. Dream Warriors is one of the greatest heavy metal songs from the 80s in my opinion, and Dokken was the only band to make it happen, with Don Dokken shrieking high vocals and George Lynch's excellent guitar work. Dream Warriors is a hit that any fan can listen to, and I'm sure if you're a fan of the franchise and the movie, you're a fan of the song as well. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 ranks probably the highest for me. I think it's the best made movie above the original. Maybe a bold statement, but it's how I feel. Dream Warriors is that good. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.